Hi, Han.
Hello, Franz. How are you?
I am very fine today. Today was such a good day. I love it today.
Oh ya, that's good.
Hmm. Lu apa kabar di sana?
Kondisi gue lagi baik juga sih, thankfully. Kayak super grateful aja with life in general, walaupun rupiah semakin melemah.
Oh ya, gua ngeliat sampai 18.000 ya kemarin
Iya,
ini.
kemarin tuh kayaknya 18.000, udah hit 18.000. Terus ya orang-orang panik lah ya. Cuman kayak I chose not to panic over this kind of situation. Let's just be grateful aja.
Bener banget. Ini apa sih? Ini gua ngeliat rekening saham gua ngeri sih. Gua liat kayak, mama, terus gua langsung tutup lagi. Oh
Iya.
my God. Jadi buat teman-teman kita yang orang Indo, kerja di Indo, dan penghasilannya rupiah, gue juga susah ngomong ya, take heart. I believe that it's gonna get better. Karena it's been the trend, di dunia ini, apapun yang gak ada yang selamanya kan. Jadi it's not gonna
Betul.
be broken forever. Trust.
Betul. And see
Dan
these days as an opportunity for you to spend more mindfully aja sih.
benar. Dan moving forward ke depannya mungkin you wanna diversify your saving, nggak di rupiah aja. Jadi mungkin beli dolar, or buy gold, or buy US stocks, right? So
Right.
meskipun rupiah hancur-hancuran, you're not gonna panic next time.
Yes. Okay.
Iya,
So today kita akan ngebahas soal relationship, dating,
attractiveness.
and love, which is ya soal attractiveness gitu ya. Karena ini topik yang of course menarik. Intinya ya, gue tuh notice kayak ketika orang itu ngomongin soal relationship, ngomongin soal pasangan yang dicari gitu kan,
Mm,
pasti ada hal pertama yang bikin kita tuh attracted to this person gitu kan. Nah, cuman kadang-kadang tuh benchmark attractiveness orang tuh sebenarnya beda-beda banget ya, Franz. Very subjective gitu.
mm,
Walaupun kita berusaha berusaha bilang kayak enggak kok, attractiveness itu objektif. Kalau cantik ya cantik, kalau ganteng ya ganteng gitu, kalau jelek ya jelek gitu kan. Orang tuh biasanya ngukur dari situ. Tapi sebenarnya when you are in that situation and you meet someone that you just click right away, bisa jadi your level of ini apa namanya, benchmark attractiveness lo tuh shifting gitu ya kan. Orang-orang
mm.
yang tadinya lo pikir nggak atraktif ternyata atraktif, dan bisa jadi sebaliknya gitu kan. Jadi menurut gue the reality is semua orang tuh punya their own market lagi gitu ya, karena
Mm.
attractiveness is very subjective.
That's right.
What do you think about it? Kayak, do you agree on that berarti?
Oke, menurut gua ya, I
Mm-mm.
think, and I can safely say from even from
Mm-mm.
historical perspective, from
Mm-mm.
sociological perspective, and from
Mm-mm.
science perspective,
Mm-mm.
bahwa attractiveness can be both subjective and objective.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Uh,
Okay. This is gonna be my explanation. I'm gonna make it very simple, okay?
okay.
Mengenai explanation ini, kita mulai dari
Yeah.
yang subjective first, okay?
Okay.
Ada adage kan atau or saying that beauty is in the eye of beholder, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Bukannya gue sombong ya guys ya, but my type of appearance, my type of face, my type of body actually is perceived to be quite attractive in Asian countries,
Mm.
kayak Thailand, Vietnam, dan negara-negara Asia lainnya. And but strangely, whenever I go online in Europe, especially in Spanish-speaking countries,
Mm-mm.
kayak or well, of
Mm-mm.
course, Spain, atau
Mm.
gua ke Latin America, kayak Brazil, like that.
Mm-mm.
Every time I go online on dating apps, they say that, sorry, you're not my type.
Oh,
Tapi,
really?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, right? Because I mean, because you're Asian, so you'll be like,
Oh,
really?
oke.
But
Heeh.
kalau misalnya gua go online on my dating apps in German speaking countries or like the Germanic countries like
Mhm.
Germany, of course, Austria, lalu Nordic countries kayak Norway dan lain-lainnya. Oh my god, babe, I'm the hottest boy in town.
Wow.
So it's subjective.
Hmm.
Karena menurut orang-orang Spanyol nih ya,
Mhm.
the fact that I don't have body hair and I don't have facial hair, I look girlish buat mereka. And
Oh.
for them, it doesn't fit their idea of masculinity.
Ah. Ya.
There you go. But kalau misalnya lu bawa orang-orang yang misalnya berbulu dada, berbrewok kayak gitu ke Asian countries,
Ya.
they are not deemed as attractive because it looks rough, it looks dirty buat
Ah.
orang-orang Asia. Have you noticed that?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's one, right? The
Ya.
subjectivity aspect
Ya.
of
Ya.
beauty. Now, from the science perspective of beauty, one sentence. We are always attracted by something that looks healthy.
That looks
Now,
healthy.
that looks healthy is
Oke.
actually really deeply embedded in us. For example, okay, like healthy teeth, white, healthy teeth,
Mhm.
strong, it means to say that you are healthy. Berarti lu gak kekurangan vitamin C. Okay?
Oke.
Scurvy, that kind of sickness. Dan kulit yang sehat. Okay, kayak glowing
Mhm.
skin. Like people, they go crazy about skincare nowadays. Why? Because they want to have better skin. Then better skin is perceived as attractive. But why
Mhm.
is glowing skin as is perceived as attractive? Well,
Mhm.
biologically, from this biologic standpoint, because it looks healthy and it looks attractive, right? It means to
Hmm.
say that you have subconsciously you perceive this person has better access to health, better access to healthy food, dan lain-lainnya.
Oh,
Why
berarti
people?
sebenarnya ya ya,
Uh-huh.
oke terusin. Terusin dulu.
Misalnya ini, ada orang yang misalnya kayak, ya he's hot, but he's like bald, kayak balding gitu loh, kayak pattern receding hairlines or pattern baldness.
Mhm.
Why? Because, well, baldness has been long perceived as something that is less masculine, strangely. Karena
Hmm.
kayak misal kayak Bruce Wayne kayak gitu, he's bald and of course he's extremely like reeking with masculinity, right? Tapi like a
Hmm.
head full of hair is perceived as something that is less aggressive and also healthy. Gitu loh.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
Oke, berarti objectively sebenarnya subconsciously kita mengindikasikan attractiveness itu towards someone yang healthy looking, fit looking gitu ya?
That's right. Yeah. Meskipun, of course, like perception towards, say, like healthy looking body shape, for example, varies
Heeh.
from culture to culture and trend to trend and from era to era. Right.
Hmm.
Gitu. I mean, I can talk for hours about beauty standard across history, but I don't think we have the time here. So that's okay. Can be another episode if you're interested.
Iya iya, oke. Nah, interestingly ya, social media itu or enggak social media doang lah ya, sebenarnya the world in general itu kayak mereduce attractiveness itu into a formula. Jadi kayak either dari looks, dari uang, seberapa tajir seseorang atau status dia di dalam society itu seperti apa, setinggi apa, sepowerful apa gitu kan.
That's right.
Dan hmm, dan jadinya attractiveness itu nggak cuman physical doang gitu, tapi sebenarnya um, bisa jadi psychological. Bahkan most of the time it's psychological gitu kan, karena we are attracted to walaupun dari luarnya kelihatannya fisik, uang atau status, tapi psychologically sebenarnya kita tuh attracted to familiarity, energy, how someone makes us feel. Bisa jadi misalnya kita menganggap orang yang tajir itu attractive karena psychologically kita punya belief system atau mindset atau value di mana hidup susah itu sama dengan ya gua nggak mau hidup susah lagi karena gue punya trauma masa kecil yang nggak nyaman, gak enak, and I don't want to experience that lagi, sehingga kita tumbuh dengan value attractive sama dengan financially stable gitu kan. Ada juga yang kalau misalnya tertarik sama looks gitu, mungkin bisa jadi dia tumbuh dibully karena penampilan tidak menarik, lalu dia kayak gue sih sebenarnya tumbuh besar berusaha membuktikan diri bahwa gue fit, gue ke gym, gue merawat diri segala macam, dan gue put so much energy and effort on my physical looks gitu, sehingga gue mengkategorikan physical appearance yang oke itu atraktif gitu loh. Jadi sebenarnya kita nyarinya familiarity gitu, Franz. Paham gak poin gue?
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Oh, lu punya trauma kayak gitu, kayak emang lu dulu diejek pas kecil?
Hmm, ada satu momen gue tuh dulu kurus banget, Franz. Literally kayak skeletons.
Wait,
Terus,
seriously? Lu
iya,
dulu kurus?
kurus banget gue, gila. Kayak
No way.
berat gue tuh dulu 48 kilo, percaya nggak? Tinggi gue 175, 177.
Hah? What the fuck?
Iya. Nah, apa namanya? Tapi gue tuh nggak pernah merasa kurus sama dengan kekurangan loh, Fran. Sebenarnya sampai at one point, lu inget nggak sih dulu tuh? Ini kayaknya mungkin, tapi lu udah keluar dari Indonesia ya, kayak tahun dimana mulai ada gym. Jadi mulai ada Gold's Gym, Celebrity Fitness, sama Fitness First tuh. Jadi orang-orang mulai aware dengan itu kayak tahun 2008. Lo masih di Indonesia nggak?
Gua masih di Indonesia. Cuman kayak masih belum menjamur kali ya, atau enggak misalnya kayak komunitas gua kan masih kayak young teenagers gitu loh. Jadinya kayak belum terlalu apa ya?
Hmm.
Gue belum terlalu aware lah tahun-tahun segitu.
Iya, iya. Gue ya 2008 2000, gue tuh mulai nge-gym 2011. Jadi kayak 2008 2009 tuh mulai ada tuh gym gitu. Nah, itu mulai
Oke.
tuh ada shifted di mata masyarakat kayak oh cowok yang olahraga yang fit tuh lebih menarik gitu kan. Nah, one day gue tuh lagi hangout sama one of my closest cousins gitu ya. Jadi we grew up
Mhm.
together, kayak temen lah beneran. Terus kita lagi jalan bareng, nah dia tuh suka menggandeng tangan gua gitu kalau lagi di
Oke.
mall. Jadi tapi gandengnya gandeng kayak gandeng di biceps gitu, Franz.
Oke.
Kebayang ya? Nah,
Aha.
dia bilang gini, tangan lo kecil banget sih kayak tangan cewek. Terus gua di situ kayak, damn. Oh, jadi ini tuh sebuah kekurangan atau sesuatu yang unattractive ya, gitu.
Oke. Oh my God. Fuck your cousin. She shouldn't have said that.
Tapi iya karena kan saudara ya udah deket banget. Gue juga kadang do the same thing to her gitu. Tapi itu not out of uh, bad intention aja, kayak lu lagi ngomong aja gitu kan. Cuman gue had no hard feeling sih towards her. Tapi itu tuh
Really, no hard feeling.
bener. Itu tapi justru
Oke.
nge-trigger sesuatu di gue yang kayak, oh ada perubahan shift nih gitu, bahwa kalau cowok tangannya nggak gede itu kayaknya nggak menarik. Nah gue tuh jadi malah termotivasi untuk oke, gue mau coba nge-gym, gue mau coba workout yang tadinya gue tuh sangat amat tidak tertarik dengan dunia tersebut gitu.
Oke.
Gitu sih. Nah, tapi baliknya ke psychological reasonnya, sebenarnya momen gue berusaha membuktikan itu, core woundnya adalah gue mau diterima society. Balik-balik ya.
Oke.
Karena di otak gue langsung sadar, oh orang zaman sekarang ngelihatnya yang lebih menarik, yang lebih diterima masyarakat yang physically lebih fit daripada yang kurus gitu ya misalnya. Disitulah. Jadi core wound gue lebih dalam sebenarnya itu. Bukan buat terlihat lebih atraktif. Diterima pasangan, tapi diterima society in general.
Oke, I got it. Lebih ke
Iya.
biar orang-orang ngelihat lu lebih attractive, lebih desirable, lebih dateable, something like that. Okay.
What about you? Do you have any story related to you feeling attractive or you feeling unattractive?
Oh my God, babe, I have a lot. Kita mulai dari yang kayak feeling unattractive ya.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, waktu gue teenager, of course, like kids would go on dating each other, right? Dan si mantan gue, my ex-girlfriend, imagine ex-girlfriend, she told me that, yeah, you're so, you don't really look good. And waktu itu gue langsung kayak, ouch. Kayak, is it because my skin is dark? Is it because I'm not pale? Is it because I'm not fit? Dan mulai dari situ kayak I embarked a journey of self discovery kayak gitu loh. I tried new clothes, new hairstyle gitu loh. And there's one turning point though. Waktu itu lagi Imlek. Okay, I love this soy sauce braised pork. Okay. Dan of course waktu itu kan available ya di meja, dan gue dengan antusias gue ambil itu. And there's one of my aunt, she is still like the spiciest. This is my least favorite person on earth actually. One of them. She told me, kamu tuh udah gendut, jangan makan banyak-banyak. Bitch. Babe, I was so sad. Like literally, like the next days, I told my mom, Ma, masaknya yang kuah-kuah aja biar aku bisa makan kuah banyak kayak gitu. Jadi intinya dalam pikiran gue adalah, well, let's increase the bulk of something watery, okay, so that I consume less rice, I consume less things, which is like not a very wrong idea if you actually want to lose weight. This can be the way.
Yeah.
Tapi lu bayangin seorang teenager yang masih tumbuh, and I already had that kind of feeling. Dan gue mulai jogging tiap jam 5 pagi sebelum sekolah. I would jog for like 40 minutes, okay, alone in the darkness demi, well, lose weight. And after that, I did lose weight, but then I look famished. So I became even uglier. That was so funny. Dan akhirnya gue juga berkenalan dengan dunia gym, and eventually I've been working out for several years and arrived at who I am today gitu loh. Learned better clothing, better hairstyle, better skincare, lalu dental hygiene, guys. Flossing is very important. Veneer, if you have money, why not? But yeah, in general, like better standard of hygiene gitu sih perjalanan gua. Jadi sama kayak lu sih, the fact that I was called fat and attractive gitu loh, it really fueled me to be better. Nah sekarang yang gua pikirin ya, why am I doing this? Of course, like there is a part of me that want to be accepted, want to be adored by people, and I get that. In fact, I kind of get that on daily basis. Tiap kali gue kerja, ketemu tim baru, dan tim baru kayak, oh, I love your skin, you look like this celebrity, you look like this. Of course, I feel good, right? But then, like along the year, gua semakin merasa I'm actually doing this for myself. Gitu, especially like the gym part, because I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel good when I'm naked in front of someone, all right? So, you know, waktu gue gak pakai baju apa, I was like, I feel good about myself. I don't have to hide behind clothes because I know that I'm fit. Gitu loh. So, literally nowadays, I do it for myself. Gitu sih.
Which is very good karena berarti lu shift dari trying to prove yourself ke orang lain and to be accepted. Sekarang you do it internally for your own benefits gitu kan.
Benar, benar banget. Mhm.
Mungkin buat teman-teman yang lagi nonton sampai part ini gitu ya, I want to encourage you guys to self-reflect juga, kayak kalian tuh ngerasa kalian sudah atraktif atau belum. Kalau belum, apa yang sebenarnya kira-kira masih bisa diimprove lagi? Karena sebenarnya perasaan unattractive itu buat gue not necessarily a bad thing loh. Kayak we know that there's something in us that we can improve. Nggak cuman physically ya. Physically is the easiest, yang paling kelihatan kan. Kayak lu jadi termotivasi olahraga ataupun diet. Tapi psychologically gitu, misalnya kayak, oh gue harus belajar, atau gue punya gue punya reasoning, cara berpikir yang lebih clear, yang lebih sharp, itu juga buat beberapa orang kan menarik. Atau ketika lu work on yourself, kayak, oh I used to have this trauma, I came from a background keluarga yang misalnya tidak utuh, dan I don't want to repeat that, I need to work on myself. Itu juga buat orang lain bisa terlihat atraktif gitu sih. Jadi sebenarnya menurut gue kayak kita tuh balik-balik lagi ya. Balik-balik lagi di setiap episode Cosmic Conversations adalah mengenali diri sendiri. Kayak elu yang menurut lu atraktif itu apa gitu. Dan apa yang menurut lu tuh kurang dan lu bisa improve sendiri gitu. Karena kalau kita tidak aware dengan tendensi ini ya Franz, menurut gua, kita akan project itu ke pasangan. Jadi kita akan cari sesuatu yang kita pikir kita bisa dapetin dari orang lain gitu. Padahal satu, nggak bisa, bukan belum tentu bisa, nggak bisa. Kedua, ya bisa jadi kita jadi cinta tak berbalas gitu, cinta bertepuk sebelah tangan. Karena yang buat gue misalnya orang yang penampilannya menarik itu atraktif gitu ya, contoh. Lalu orang tersebut melihat gua yang misalnya gua tuh nggak work on myself, nggak nge-gym, nggak olahraga, nggak jaga makan. Ya buat orang itu dia nggak akan ngelihat gua menarik dong, iya kan? Dia mungkin punya level standar physical appearance yang jauh lebih tinggi, lebih ideal. Dan ketika orang yang nggak tertarik sama gua jadi terluka, gua jadi kayak, damn, memang lah gua nggak menarik gitu-gitu segala macam. Padahal sebenarnya salah gue sendiri, kenapa gue tidak improving myself physically gitu. Itu baru dari satu aspek fisik doang gitu ya. Nah,
Oke.
ntar gue jadi lost track apa yang mau gue sampaikan tadi.
Eh,
Tapi so far lu ngerti kan maksud gue?
ngerti. Cuman
Iya,
ini I would like to offer another perspective gitu loh guys, dari cerita gue yang di awal ya, kayak
iya.
where I am perceived as attractive, where I am not perceived as attractive gitu loh. We have our own market. Gue bakal share
Bener,
satu cerita lagi yang menurut gue, I
bener.
think itu such an interesting story gitu loh. Waktu itu
Gue
gue
tadi
tuh
mau
lagi,
gue tadi mau
go ahead.
nyambungin ke gue tadi mau nyambungin ke gue tadi mau nyambungin ke kalimat itu, we have our own market, terus tiba-tiba gue ngeblank di tengah jalan.
Ah,
This is why we need a partner in doing this. Thank you.
that's okay.
Please continue.
Okay, sure. Jadi itu ini tuh gue tuh lagi di Bangkok. Oh, I was in Bangkok. Okay. I was just
Okay.
lying down in my hotel room, going online on my dating app, like just like swapping around. Lalu I was chatting with someone that I think very cute. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, we're talking. Lalu kita tukeran picture dong. Terus you know what? He said that, oh, you're so fit. I was like, thank you. And then he said, but I don't like six packs.
Hah? Wow. Oh, menarik ya. Ada ya orang nggak suka six pack.
I know, right? Terus I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, no hard feeling. Terus gue ngomong ke dia, jangan blok gue dulu. I have a lot of questions.
Sumpah lu nanya gitu.
Terus he was like, okay, so we actually spoke afterwards, okay. Terus gue
Okay.
tanya, okay, kalau misalnya boleh tahu, jadinya tipe lu kayak gimana? And he told me that this person is more into someone who has like fluffy body type, like bearish kind of, like meaty, beefy kind of guy. I was like, okay. Or he can deal with someone who is very thin as well. So I was like, that's very interesting. Karena buat dia, a person who has more meat, okay, like a person who is fluffier, is nicer to cuddle with. I was like, okay, cool. Dan di saat itu, I was like, right, so everyone has their own market. Ada banyak orang yang mikir, oh you should have like 6 packs nowadays, right? And very defined arms, very defined bicep, tricep, things like that. But then apparently it's not always true. Karena gue juga punya teman yang, well, he's around the same height with me. Okay, regretfully, he is around 200 kilograms.
Wow.
He's big, like big, okay? But guess what? Senora, he sells like a hot cake. Like apparently, like these muscular boys, they think that he's very sexy. When I was traveling with him, he was never short of good sex.
Wow.
I was like, babe, oh my God, you are the hottest girl in town. And he was like, I know. So dari dua cerita ini, I was like, yeah, we all have our own market. Jadi meskipun lu dibilangin kayak biasa aja nih, guys, kayak you're not my type. If someone tells you that, it's fine, move on, because we are not
Yes.
everyone's cup of tea. That's okay, but
Setuju.
most importantly, you should be your own favorite cup of tea. And out there, dari sebanyak manusia ini di dunia ini, somebody will think that you're very cute. Somebody will think that you're so attractive, that you're so sexy. But kalian jangan sampai jadi overly relaxed and stop improving yourself. That is not right. If you have to improve yourself, you do it for your own sake. Okay? That's my point.
Betul. So Franz just wrap everything in my head just now. Karena ya gue setuju banget sih. Maksudnya dulu-dulu ya, gue tuh merasa kayak ketika orang mereject gue atau menganggap gue tidak menarik, itu tuh kayak personal attack gitu kan. Tapi terus gue mikir, lah kan gue juga milih-milih orang, gue juga punya preferensi gue sendiri. Kenapa ketika gue tidak dipilih, gue tersinggung gitu. And then I realize kayak, oh berarti there's something in me that need to change gitu loh. Kayak what actually am I looking for in my partner gitu. Selama ini mungkin gue cuma mengkategorikannya sebagai physical attractiveness doang gitu. Sehingga ketika misalnya gue mau sama orang yang menurut gue physically okay, lalu dia nggak mau sama gue balik, gue tuh feel very rejected gitu. But nowadays ya friends, gue sekarang udah bisa ibaratnya ngeliat beyond the facade gitu Cie. Kayak ada orang-orang yang dari luar physically, wah tipe gue banget nih gitu, menarik. Tapi pas ngomong nggak nyambung, terus psychologically juga nggak nyambung, cara berpikir nggak nyambung, gue tuh bisa langsung nggak impress gitu sih. Kalau dulu tuh gue berusaha kayak nyocok-nyocokin diri, nyambung-nyambungin diri supaya supaya match gitu, karena physically fasadnya gue udah suka gitu kan. Gitu sih. So
Oh,
another
baby.
point of view yang gue dapat dari sini adalah guys, kita tuh sebagai manusia nggak pernah berhenti berevolusi, nggak pernah berhenti growing and evolving gitu sih. Jadi jangan pernah berpikir kalian tuh karena kan dunia ini selalu mengkomunikasikan by 30 you already need to figure out yourself, who you are, what you want, what you don't like gitu. Tapi faktanya adalah kalau kalian belum hit 30, after 30 you will still gonna discover a lot more about yourself that you haven't found in your 20s gitu. Jadi jangan juga mematokkan diri bahwa oh ya gue sukanya yang kayak gini, ya udah gue akan kayak gini terus gitu. Nggak gitu juga gitu sih.
That's true. Lagian ya guys ya, kayak beauty standard nih. Okay, I will touch on the historical part a bit, yeah, because well, I'm such a history nerd. Kalian percaya gak sih before ya in the 14th no like 15th century kita sekarang kan pengennya rambutnya tuh yang sehat, yang gak ada receding hairline, ya gak sih, yang tebel rambutnya. Zaman dulu ya di Eropa tuh standar kecantikannya perempuan adalah big forehead, so basically like receding hairline. People actually plucked their hair to make their
Wow.
forehead look bigger.
What?
It's such a weird thing, and actually the trend lasted pretty long. It lasted well into the 16th century. Weird, right? Let's move to Japan. Okay, I know this is one of your favorite countries, guys, in the world. There's one term ohaguru. Tadi kan gue ngomong ya, gigi yang putih, yang sehat, nggak ada lubangnya, nggak ada hitam-hitamnya. Back in the day, di abad ke-9, and it lasted well into the earlier part of the 19th century. Black teeth were the hallmark of women's beauty.
Black teeth?
Yep, I'm not joking. You can search about it. The term is
Black
ohaguro.
teeth?
Ohaguro.
Okay.
You can search about it. It's such a weird thing. Lalu,
Wow.
of course, you have heard of eyebrows on fleek, correct? So like well tapered, arch eyebrow, like well shaped, dense, defined. But do you realize that in the year of 1920s, ladies literally plucked their eyebrows and literally drew a line as their eyebrows? It's really weird. So, okay, now let's settle that beauty really varies from culture to culture. Okay, misalnya nih tipe badan gue in Asia, I'm considered as fit, as attractive. But then if I go to Africa, when people look at me, they will ask me, "Did you eat?"
Wow.
Exactly right. So beauty is in the in the eyes of the beholder, really. Jadi guys, again, jangan biarkan one opinion or several opinions ruin your confidence. Apa yang dianggap
True.
tidak attractive di satu tempat will be regarded as very attractive in other places. Soalnya gue pernah baca ada satu model Indonesia yang dipanggil, oh hitam lu. Soalnya kan kalau misalnya di Indonesia, standar kecantikan tuh kuning langsat atau putih,
Iya.
kayak gitu loh. You know what? Girl made it in Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah, I saw about that girl.
You see? You see, guys? Di Indonesia dia dianggap gak attractive, tapi dia yang orang-orang Indonesia, ih lu kok kayak pembantu sih penampilannya kayak gitu. My God, girl made it in Paris Fashion Week. There you go. Go to the place where you're appreciated. Don't let others' opinion define your self-worth. We're beautiful as we are.
Betul. Very interesting topic for today. I think I'm gonna close with this. Know your standard of attractiveness bener-bener gitu ya. And then kedua, work on that dari diri sendiri dulu gitu. Jadi misalnya contoh, standard attractiveness buat gua adalah orang yang good looking, yang badannya bagus gitu misalnya. Tapi lo sendiri nggak good looking dan nggak work on your body. Ya gimana tuh gitu kan. Atau misalnya
I love that.
atau iya kan, atau misalnya iya gue tuh akan tertarik banget sama orang yang pinter, yang diajak ngomong deep talk, nyambung, atau wawasannya luas. Ya lo aja nggak tahu berita yang lagi terjadi apa, gimana lo mau diajak ngomong sama orang yang pinter gitu loh, iya kan. Terus lo mau
Itu banget
orang
sih.
yang misalnya kaya raya, ya kan, tapi lo sendiri keuangannya juga morat-marit gitu. Kalau lu ada di level yang jauh banget sama calon pasangan yang lu cari, gimana lu bisa ada diketemuin sama mereka, dunianya aja udah beda, lu masih pakai pinjol gitu. Dia main saham miliaran gitu misalnya. Ya susah gitu. Jadi jangan cuma nyari keluar dan bilang kayak iya yang gue mau adalah A B C D F G. Tapi lu berkaca deh, gue udah seperti A B C D F G itu belum gitu. Kalau selama ini lu belum attract apa yang lu anggap sebagai atraktif, ya mungkin waktunya lu berkaca gitu ya dan beneran beneran improve yourself supaya next time lu attract orang yang ada di vibrasi yang sama, di level yang sama, di cara pemikiran yang sama gitu sih menurut gua.
It's very well said, Hen. Itu gua I just really cannot agree more. I think it's really well said gitu guys. So we have to be our own standard gitu loh. Of course to a certain extent because no one is perfect, right? Kayak misalnya gua I want to have a partner who is fit, who is as well read, who is good looking, who is mannered, cultured. So be that. Lu lu duluan yang harus kayak gitu. So in short, you have to be your own favorite person. And again, ini gue bakal pinjam dari konsepnya Henry tadi. You need to know yourself, right? Karena kalau misalnya lu nggak kenal sama diri lu sendiri, so how will you improve? And how can you objectively rate yourself and decide which part to improve, which part to retain, which part to elevate, right? It starts with self-discovery. Self-discovery doesn't have to lead to rendah diri. Okay? Listen, guys, do not berate yourself, do not curse yourself. But I will close it with this one small sentence. We are not everyone's cup of tea. But again, we have to be our own favorite cup of tea. If you're not your own favorite cup of tea, my love, gimana tuh?
Gimana tuh, bener. Jadi kalau udah work on yourself, terus ternyata masih kayak masih di reject, masih mengalami rejection gitu. Ingat, you are not everyone's cup of tea. Orang kayak Brad Pitt, kayak Angelina Jolie aja mungkin pasti ada aja orang yang nggak tertarik sama mereka dan nggak menganggap mereka atraktif. That's very normal karena balik ke kalimat Franz di awal, everyone has their own market gitu.
Exactly. So guys, jangan rendah diri. We are all beautiful in our own way, but always improve yourself.
Yes. All right. So that's the episode of Cosmic Conversation for this week. We hope you find this insightful, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.